Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. It's live from the shed on this rainy Sunday afternoon, and thank you for taking your time to be here with me. I hope you're doing well. And yes, Emma is driving. We were lucky enough to get a visit from Emma around about lunchtime. She dropped in to give me some stuff. So thank you very much, Emma, for giving it to me. And I'm actually, I haven't, it's still sitting upstairs where I left it. So I've got to bring it back down and show everyone what's going on. It's a little bit overexposed at the moment. You can't see, but it is wet, rainy. It's sort of wet and rainy all the time. Thank you, G, for that, for the saying that it's your favourite show. Yeah, definitely, Emma. Be safe. One shed dog is upstairs, one shed dog has been outside, he's wet. You know which one that is. You really still can't tell. It's a little bit overexposed. It's these cameras can't handle the light from outside, but most cameras can't when you point them outside. Jamar, they are here. One of them was down here earlier. They're probably upstairs now, dripping water everywhere, like one of them did last night. We just, you know, find a puddle of water over there, and in fact, I tell you what, I'll walk out and show you. So it's this is Luigi. Look, this is Luigi Squeegee. Does a great job. Straight up. Just push it a little bit. Hey, come here, you. Come on. Shed lights, one of them. So I'll pick them up now. Come on, you two. Been lazy around those days. They have got parking right now, Penny Road. So of course, that seems to sit with their dogs to get on top of the parking. Come on. So I'm just going to look at right. Come on, you two. Come on. That's come on. Come on. Come on here. Come on. No, no, no. Okay, so he knows what's goes. But what they do like doing, so he's a towel. They love getting dried off with the towel. Come on, hey, hey, come on, please, towel, come on. Right, come on, come on, Rex. Oh, come on, let's change cameras and we'll give these dogs a dry off with the towel. Oh, Nightbot's in the house. Hang on. Come here. Come on. Sharonator. What are you doing up so early, Sharonator? Come on. Come on, Max. So, hang on. We got the old, this is the old girl. She loves a toweling down. Didn't know you were out of bed that early, Sharonator. But thanks for being here, mate. I do appreciate it. Come on, Max. Your turn. Come on. Come on. Do you want some more? You can see the tails going. They never used to like getting dried off, but now they do. Come on. Come on. Come on, Maxie boy. Come on. What is your problem? Hey, with me. So, as part of the training with our dogs, various trainers have different ways, techniques to train the dogs. But uh, Max, we've been taught to come on with me, raise your arms in the air, and usually when he's down at the front gate, he will come running up. Max, come here. Come on. Come on. Come here, Maxie. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. That's it. Good boy. Yes. Well done. And part of the training is to do with positive reinforcement. So when a dog does something right, you say yes, and you also mark with a treat, and that reinforces a positive response instead of growling at the dog or anything like that. Unfortunately, a lot of people still, um, don't subscribe to that sort of theory. And as with all things, it takes time. What we have been trained to do, I've got a bit more, is when you introduce a new command or you want the dog to do something, you do it about 5 times. And then you have a rest and you do it another 5 times. So it's invoking muscle memory and also that positive response that they get a treat at the same time, because dogs are very food orientated. Like a lot of people are food orientated as well. Now, more than likely, what this bloke's going to do is go back out in the room, turn you around, so everyone can see. Yeah, he's a bit, maybe because of the chair, a little bit because of it. But the golden retrievers are also known as mud puppies. Just don't love to do it up. You just got to look on social media and the various people that have their dogs on camera and jumping in pools and all that sort of stuff. Where you going? Hey, Max. And you go out there again, you're going to get dried off again. So it's a big girl. So the dogs are here with me at the moment, or at least one is. Come here. Look, I just drive you off. He's out in the rain. Have a look at this. We'll switch cameras and see if you can pick him up. You can't see him because he's walked off. He's out in the rain again. He just loves the rain. I definitely got to get this multi-camera setup sorted out properly. I've got two, this one and the bench cam, but I have 3 of these webcams, and I'd like to get another one overhead. I'd like to get a few more, to tell you the truth, and just get some good angles and so on. Stylesy, man. Yeah, I know. It's not. Cherinator, thank you for subscribing. Very much appreciated. How can I. No. Appreciate it, Cherinator. And thanks for being up so early, mate. It's been a bit of a wacky week. I haven't really, from Thursday night, I haven't done much in the shed this week, and the rain hasn't helped. It's not going to help work tomorrow. I work, guys know that I work in the earth moving industry, so this rain's going to affect us. It's fairly widespread. And like I said, Emma from Emma's Spare Room Machine Shop was here before. She dropped off some stuff, and which I'll go and grab in a second. and even it's raining down her way, and she may have problems getting home because of what's her name? Hang on. Because of road closures and things like that, but that's just part of the way we live in. Oh, Funkin's wet too. Okay. Oh, okay. Stylesy. Had to be personal, mate. We don't want to know that. So I'll put the yeah, it's a rainy afternoon. It's wet outside. Not let's not go anywhere. Anyway, I'll go get these bits that Emma brought back to me, and I'll be back. Hang on a second. Righto, we're back, and I think I'm going to have to organise a bit longer intro when I do things. Look, this is Meld Studio, and I talked to you about this before. I've let my feelings know that we've got the capability of streaming in 4K, which we are now, and this is Meld Studio, which is a totally free software download. I believe you can download it, use it on PC, Mac, whatever. I'm using it on a Mac. That's what I run here. You guys know that. And it works really well. I'm just going to adjust that camera. Better framing, and the AI is turned on straight away. All right. Okay, mate. Thank you very much. Thanks, Cherinator. Thanks for the support, mate. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you soon. Yeah, Meld Studio is really good, and there is a few things that they need to improve, and they're working on it. But it is totally free software. I know OBS does the same thing, and later. Because it's a bit of a pain, actually, to tell you the truth. And I'll leave that open. Let's reframe this. That's better. But Meld Studio does a great job. I really enjoy it. It's getting better. The chat, they had whether it was me or them, they did have problems with their chat. Excuse me. But their chat interface now is really good on the right-hand side. And in fact, I'll toggle that on just in settings here. Just bear with me. So audio transmitter, see it somewhere. Maybe it's to do with chat. I'll tell you what. I will. Very clever, G. Very clever. Let's do a quick thing here. Studio chat. Studio chat. Chat setup. Let's have a look here. Why don't you come up with the most recent one? Oh, good. I gotta chase a dog again. Come here. Hey. Either that or I'll put him upstairs. 6 months ago, I better not play someone else's thing. Okay, shorts. Oh, right, 2 months ago. Oh, I can set up chat. I probably should be. That's probably not the one I was looking for. I want you to use widgets and things like that. Let's go to Meld Studio. Meld Studio, go to there for something. Oh, you guys crack me up. Track recording. No, I'm not going to find it. Shorts. This is. Oh, okay. Righto. Righto. All right. Here we go. So I've got to add it as a layer. Widget. Chat. There it is. And so there it is there. Who's popping in? Yeah, can we stretch the canvas, fit the canvas? How do I make that bigger? How can we now this is so I can stretch that out or I can make it. Let's have a hissy fit. Oh, it doesn't know what to do. All right, so it goes. Oh, doesn't like that, does it? So that's chat there, and it'll come up as you guys type or as we type. You know, hello chatters. So it'll come up. There's a bit of a delay. All right. Right. I'm going to go into my inspector, which is here. That's outputs. Oh, all right. Supposed to go into the. Yeah, good, Jamar. Thanks for being here. Supposed to be able to change the. This is stream. No. Maybe I need to highlight. Ah, there it is. Righto. So I've got to click on it. There we go. We're going to do that. Turn that on. Yeah, we're going to turn that on as well. All right, font size. Here we go. 75. There we go. Nice and big. And the other thing we can do is instead of being white, we can change the color. Hey, Zakau, how you going? Thanks for being here. So it stands out. Actually, what's going to be better? Color. See, it's going to be dependent on your background too, but it's looking better. Would you be better off with black? Yeah, it's hard to say. Interested to know your thoughts. You want something that stands out, so like a yellow or something like that. Maybe a green. Probably the yellow there stands out. And you've got a bunch of range of colours here, RGB and all that sort of stuff. So there you go. That's how we do the chat. And in fact, let's put it over there. That might be better. Oh God, I can hear a particular puppy running around in the rain after I've thanks, Stylesy. Yeah, so look, okay, G, let's have a look. Let's go have a look. Because this is not this is just, let's learn together. Font size, text color, align, direction, bottom up. So that would have to be, right, so the opacity, fill mode, stretch, doesn't look like you can, G, at this moment. So what if I was to do that? Is that any better? Red Moon? That might be a bit hard for some people. Maybe that's Ghost. That's pixelated. Thermal. Actually, thermal's not bad. It's still hard to read, I realise that. So it's quite possible I could put some sort of a layer behind that. In fact, maybe let's just try that. Let me see if I can put a layer behind that, just like a blank layer, which I can. Let's see if this is going to work. I need it. That's a. So what you're doing is adding layers to. Hang on a minute. I'll be back, guys. Okay, guys, I am back. Apologies for that. One of the ladies that my wife knows dropped in and she makes cheesecakes by hand. And this latest lot of cheesecakes, we've asked her to make mini ones. There's four of them, so they cost us $20. Um, and they're Biscoff. We didn't ask for it; she just made it, and they're really nice. They're made by hand, and they come in a tub, about that size. Really nice. So yeah, style thing. Cody, thanks for being here, mate. This is just a very much impromptu live stream that I do from time to time. I'm playing around. Um, G'day, Robbo. Thanks for being here, mate. Hope it's not too wet down your way. If it is, it's wet up here, mate. It's a rainy Sunday afternoon. So now let's go back to our chat over here to see if I can put a box behind it and uh, yep, and make something of it. Just rectangle. Yeah, it's not going to. It'll give me a rectangle, but it won't. Oh, I wonder if I can. Even though it's a rectangle, can I make that square? Oops. Even though it's a square, can I make it a rectangle? Option control. I thought so. It's a square only, and well, okay. If that's a square like so, now can I put the chat into that box? Unlock that. I can reshape and size the chat there. That's the chat box, but one's on top of the other. I can't move it forward or move up, down, align. Hide, lock, flip, no. And even the rectangle, I can't move it forward or back. Um, yeah, Jamar, there's probably a way around it. I just haven't worked it out. Uh, Out of all the layers and things, text layer, widgets. Um, oh, right, okay. Yeah, all right. Well, look, I'm not actually going to play with this much more. It's something I need to look into. But at least we got the chat there. And I'd have to duplicate this chat over on Jamar. If I could, I would. And I don't have those options available. It's not like Canva or something else. Unless you know of a way, Jamar, I'd appreciate the input. Stretch the canvas, fit the canvas, hide lock. Yeah, no, that it doesn't give me any other options. I'll leave that there. And now, if I go to the bench cam, it's not there. I'd have to put it in separately. It's still going to be the same. You guys can read it. Uh, yeah. Canva and another one have it I could... Anyway, look, it's on screen. In fact, I'll look at it on screen over to my left here. You know that when it comes up, when it changes, it's slow over here. There we go. It's there you go. That'll do. All right. Well, I'm going to go to... Yeah, no. Let's leave it like this. Righto. Here's what Emma dropped off when she was here earlier before. This is the steam injector. This device here puts water into the boiler using steam from the boiler. Now, this particular device is called a injector or ejector, and it's made by this company here called Penberthy. Originally, this was patented back in the 1800s, late 1800s or something like that, and very effective tool for, you know, using steam from the boiler to put water back into the boiler. Now, I loaned this to Emma a while back because she was having some troubles with a particular item, and that's this piece here, this nut, and it screws on to the injector here and holds a pipe in place. There's usually a hose tail on here where a piece of pipe goes over. And what happens with these is the piece at the back, because there's so much force on it, let's see if we can get that there. We probably can't, so we'll go back there. This piece here is forced out because this is made of brass, which is a soft material, and over time it bends out. Emma drew one of these up in CAD, which I think I've featured on one of the streams or posted on my channel. She also did it as well, CAD live streams, and it's a fairly simple operation. A bit of internal threading. You need a bit of hex bar. If you haven't got the hex bar, of course, you need to take it over the milling machine over here and do it on your dividing table, rotary head, whatever you got. And in fact, when I have a close look at this, you probably can't see it here. But it's actually starting to break away. There's been that much force put on it that this piece here is breaking away. Now, the other option is you can make it out of different material like steel or something like that, maybe aluminium, bronze. Steel's will be a good one, just more strength. It doesn't look as good, obviously, but even stainless steel, it'll last forever then. And it'll have plenty of strength at the back to screw onto your injector here. Now, inside this injector, there's various parts that go inside here, and I've taken them out. This was quite dirty, so it had a bit of a clean up and overhaul in vinegar. Vinegar is a mild acid. It was quite dirty. It also had a sandblast and all that sort of wonderful stuff. There's only one moving part in these things, and they're pretty incredible. I should do a show about them to give it the full explanation of what it does and how it does its thing and all that sort of stuff. A lot of physics involved if you want to go down that route. And the other thing that Emma did is these items here. Emma drew up in CAD, and there are a couple of little bits of sheet metal that have been profile cut. And there's not just one of these, there's actually two of these. And what you do is, in fact, so you got one with the hole in the middle, and another one here with a couple other holes. So you get one of the blank ones, and you put that on there like so, and right here, you weld that, and you weld that one there. So that's what they call plug welding. And then in here, what Emma has done is you put a ring on it, which is attached to a bit of wire or a chain that's locked on to the steamroller. And these actually then, once they're welded together, that this gets spread apart a little bit. Whoops, I'll autofocus there. These get spread apart a little bit, so they got a little bit of spring, and they go in like that, and they hold the ash pan in place. Now, Emma's idea is that if you need to get the ash pan removed in a hurry, you just pull these four off and it comes down with all the ash in it. Normally you wouldn't do that, but in an emergency you might have to do that. And the ones that were made originally, anyway, we're back again. But these, so you need 1, 2, 3, 4. And Emma's made a couple of spares. Thank you very much, Emma, for doing this. Emma's a very smart lady and got her head screwed on the right way. She might say otherwise because she owns a steamroller, but these are one of those little jobs that need doing, and that way you've got a couple of spares. So I've got 6 pair in total, and there we go. So they need to be welded, and that's one of those jobs down the track sort of thing to get it sorted. But nice bit of work, very little burrs. There's no burrs on these. All this stuff that gets profile cut is usually done with a water jet cutter or something like that. Pretty amazing technology, how they can, you know, get really accurate in terms of their sizing, and it's all done. It's not punched or pressed or something the way it may have been done many years ago. So that's just another part to steamroller, which will get worked on in due course. There's some left and right ones. So we'll put them all together back in their box. And as with all machines, the machine is only as good as the sum of all of its parts. And if you haven't got all of its parts, then it's not going to do much, which is, as you know, the steamroller that I'm working on is not doing much lately because I haven't been doing much on it at all. To tell you the truth, it's just the way it goes. Sometimes these things happen, and you may notice that there's a toolbox sitting on the forklift, and that's because we are in the process of um, Thursday night stream. We're changing vehicles. We're getting another vehicle. The old one's being traded in, and we're getting a new ute. Some people know about it. Most of you know, I haven't shared any photos yet, but I'm keeping that a bit of a secret. So we'll have a look at the new ute come Thursday night, and it should be, or I should have it by then. It's new to us, but it's second hand, and it's going to allow us to go anywhere we need to go. If, like, all 4 of us have got to go somewhere, the ute that I have, let's reposition that camera, and so It's a 1997 Holden Rodeo, and the stuff the stuff you normally do. Absolutely right. G marks you talk. I should do that. So, yeah. Pretty simple, basic, gets around, really good fuel. And that's the other difference. So this movie, this year, the base idea, I think I could really have 450 kilometers out of the ton of fuel on the roof. It's petrol. It's mid thirsty because I was so close to work. It's nice to the distance. The new ute is diesel, and from what I've seen so on the various forums that I've been looking at, just on Facebook, which has been very handy. I read about $7 per ton, just say roughly, just very positive sort of thing. And that's going to allow us to get a bit more, just go further, be comfortable, and still carry things in the back of the ute without any problems. Carrying capacity wise, I think they're both the same. That ute there's about a ton in the back. Oh, hang on. Thanks, G. Why? It shouldn't do. Don't tell me I've got something wrong here. Just let me check. Right. I tell you what, we're going to delete that for you. Right. Hopefully that's a bit better. All the audio should be coming off the wireless microphone that I've got here, G. So I don't know why, unless it was everything looks good. That's strange. No, everything's coming through the one audio source, and I've always got it on me. That's the whole idea of the. I'll tell you what. I'm going to walk over here. Let's go with the two boxes. Mm-mm. Everyone's out watching. Hope the weather's nice for you guys where you are. Yeah, cutting out again. That's crazy. Hmm. All right. Yeah, here we go. We're going to change microphones now. I'll do the influencer thing and talk like this. How's that sound? Right, well, we've changed microphones and we're going to go for another walk. I'll put that on there, but it shouldn't cut out. Unless it's got something to do with the actual connection here. Oh, okay. Well, that's thanks to the cow. That's strange because I see what's going on. Okay. Sorry, my fault. Right, there we go. Okay, right. I've got it sorted now. For whatever reason, it was on the camera. It was picking up on the camera up top here, the webcam, and not the actual Blackmagic Design switcher that I've got plugged in. So it should be a lot better. So that was my fault. Apologies for that. Right, it should be a lot better now. G and Zakao, let me know how that's gonna go. It should be way better. Now I have a bit of static. Oh, okay. Right, it should be a lot better now. G and Zakao, let me know how that's gonna go. Right, I've made a few changes here. It should be all right. I should be able to go. I'll go over here. You should be able to hear me clearly now without any problems. This is what happens on a live stream sometimes when I don't set things up properly. I thought it was all set up, but I'm down beside the forklift, so I'm quite the way away from the webcam, which is now no longer picking up. I think I deleted the wrong thing because I was looking at the thing. So everything's hopefully that's way better. Should be better anyway. If not, we'll find out. Because I was looking. Righto, Jamar, thank you very much. Oh, Robbo. Yeah, well, we know other people have done that, eh, Robbo? Back in the old days, Robbo, remember what you've done, mate. We know. We've all done it. It's super chat. Oh. Oh, my God. Righto. Okay, so what I actually came down here to do, I was going to give the lathe a bit of a clean-up. And I'll reposition because the lathe needs a bit of a clean-up. Let's reposition the old camera before it falls off. Sometimes these things don't always work out the way you want. Hang on, let's screw that up tight. Or tighter anyway. Right, so let's move that around. And then we move this around. And then we reposition. And then, see, there you go. That's the setup there. Let's see. And here's the lathe. It's probably as best as we're going to get it, actually. Yeah, Robbo. Righto. So we need some rags. So I need to cut up some rags. Let's do that. I've got plenty of old work clothes. I should really go get some water. And of course, with the changeover between the two vehicles, I've got tools everywhere. I've just, you pull things out and so on. And a pair of old work pants. I go through those. Not on a regular basis. They last a fairly long time, but wear and tear, things break and wear out, that sort of thing. Actually, I'm going to need a couple of those bits of rag. Now, what are you guys doing this afternoon? Now, a lot of people go and watch the football or whatever, or their favourite sports on TV. I suppose football's all done now. You may be doing something else. You may be watching some bloke on YouTube, Hopefully you're... some people might be doing a bit of gaming, playing a bit of Xbox or something like that, which I've never been a big console gamer. I don't own any consoles. Never really had the time, to tell you the truth. But some people claim it's very relaxing and so on and so forth. If you listen to what Elon Musk has to say, it does help with your reflexes, your hand-eye coordination. Some people are more talented than others. Right, that'll do. That'll do to start with. Let's see how much of a mess I make. With the lathe, what happens? Cody's watching me. Oh my God! Thanks, Cody. I appreciate it. As you can see, the lathe gets a little dirty over time, and every so often I get to and give it a bit of a clean up, because it's something that you work on all the time, and it's good just to get into a routine and clean things down. Makes it a bit more presentable, makes it easier to work on too. And in fact, I have a bit of a problem. This guard here, let's just tilt that back up there a bit. This guard here has a bit of a rough spot and it's not smooth. It should be really smooth, but I can feel it sort of binding up a little bit. So we need to have a look at that. And I usually keep a brush. I keep this well oiled as well. It's important you need to keep your tools and that well oiled, because they do rust. It's a workshop environment. They're exposed to the elements, and you'd be surprised, even though there's oil and that on the lathe. And it also looks pretty good on, I'm working on the tailstock here at the moment. Also looks good on camera too, if you've got a nice clean lathe, but some people don't care about that. They prefer the worked look or loved look or whatever you want to call it. Got my big head in the way at the moment, so you can't really see what's going on. Now, for those of you not familiar with a lathe, generally speaking, whether it's a woodworking lathe or a metal working lathe, this is metal, or designed to turn metal. This is the headstock. This here is the tailstock, and this is what they call the carriage. So they're just some basics for the lathe. And this here that I'm just wiping down now, that the carriage and the tailstock slide on, is called the bed. And these are, often they're called ways or slideways, because that's what it slides on. And they get a build-up of crap and oil and stuff. You need to keep oil on it to stop it from rusting. And getting a rag in and wiping this, just wiping the excess off. I'm going to go back over it again and put oil on it. And now, previous to this, my lathe tooling that's here was all up here, which made it really, those of you who've been watching me for a while know what I did, and I've put that on here. And we've get this wiped down, get all the excess off, and I'll put some clean oil down so the tailstock can slide on some clean, fresh oil. Like I said, every so often it's good to do this. A little bit of therapy just to clean it up. Obviously, some people go overboard and have it absolutely spotless. I would say this is just more of a used setup or used look. Right, that's now done, it's in the bin. The oil I'm using is a fairly thin oil. Some people say you should use thin oil, others say you should use thick oil. This is just cutting oil. Now, it's a water-soluble oil, so I can mix it with water and use it as a coolant, which is what comes out of this tap here. It aids cutting and helps prolong the tool life, because as we all know, you know, the laws of thermodynamics, when something gets hot, it starts to wear and break down. And if you can keep it cool or within a certain working temperature, it makes life so much easier. And cleaning that up and just making that slide along with the clean oil is just so much better. I'll give the front of it a clean, which you can't see. There's also oil holes on top of the tailstock here, which I'll do. In fact, I'll change scenes so you can see. What's Emma? What are you laughing about, Emma? Cool. I thought, Robbo, I thought you had a dog already. Isn't that the one that stays at your parents' place most of the time? So a bit of oil. Now, most of you know that Emma, she's in the chat here, has relocated, and she's now got her lathe up and running, which is good. It's always good to have your lathe up and running, do some work on. Right, so that's nicely oiled and given that a bit of a clean. I could go a bit more crazy on this and really, really clean it up, but for the purpose of this live stream, this will be good enough. Hello, welcome to the stream. If you're new here, righto, let's get all this swarf off, and we'll take that tool off. Wind that out. The other thing you can use, which has gone walkabout right now for some reason, where is it? Oh, righto, mate. No worries. Well, it'd be nice to have her with you. Now, I do have a brush, this brush here, which I can use to clean things away, but I have a smaller one. You buy them in packs of 3. The oil's gotten to that, and it's not as firm as it used to be. Well, I'll put it in here, have I? It was up there, or it's gone. It's probably over here on the milling machine. Righto. This is just a little brush. You buy them in a pack of 3. They come in, this is like a polyester or whatever it is, brass and stainless steel. They're nice and stiff, and they're good for getting into bits on lathes here where all the stuff gets in and makes it difficult to get into. It's not perfect. The other thing I can do is turn the air compressor on and blow all this stuff away, but sometimes you end up blowing more crap all over yourself than what you're actually getting rid of. And so one of these little, let's change again. That's probably a better view now. You can see the slideways here. And in fact, this here is the cover for the digital readout. I have a digital readout on this lathe, which I replaced the actual readout, which is up there. I'll show you that soon. Quite a while back, because the one on here decided to stop working, and the display was really nice. It's a nice bright liquid crystal display. However, the problem I have is that, and it's probably something I should have talked to Emma about, plugged it all in, went through and set it all up, but when you turn the handle, nothing, it doesn't seem to communicate the readout or the readings from the encoder or the glass. These are a glass linear slide on here. There's various videos on YouTube on those things, and it just doesn't play the game. And I've read through the manual and all that sort of stuff, and I just don't know. So I need to sit down and maybe get on one of these forums on Facebook or something like that, these machinist forums, to help me out with that. I've wound the carriage right up, and I'm just putting some more oil on here. I'm also going to clean that off. There is a cover. There's some various components on the lathe here. It's called a lead screw. It's got a cover on it. I'm just wiping that down, and I'll put some clean oil on that too, because that all helps. This lathe has been a great lathe. For its size and what I've done with it, it's been fantastic. It's not the perfect lathe, but no lathe is, to tell you the truth. I haven't found the perfect. Well, I believe there is a lathe out there that's perfect, but I can't afford it. Put it that way. And that would be one of the range of the Haas automation machine tools. Now, Haas CNC, they're an American company, and many years ago they came out with a lathe a bit bigger than this, and you could either have it in full manual mode. This is what this lathe is, a manual lathe, or you could set it up and program it to do CNC work. I've only ever seen one of those come up recently, and actually probably about 12 months ago now, and unfortunately I did not have the money to get it, which is a bit of a shame. But like a lot of things in life, the things we want and the things we get are 3 totally different things altogether. Now, as for the ute, the new ute is not just because we want another vehicle, we really need another vehicle. And that was the reason behind the purchase of that. Now that is We've outlaid a fair bit for that, but I feel it's going to be worth it. Jamar, if you're still watching, how often do you play pickleball, mate? And what got you into it? Just to make some new friends, or just stay active, or because I know one of the blokes that he's retired now. He goes and plays pickleball down near me, so I know it is pretty entertaining, and I suppose it keeps you active and fit and thinking, all that sort of stuff. Now the other thing is, I'm going to wind the carriage, the cross slide, which you can't see. Oh, you can just see it at the corner. I'm going to wind it right over. I'm going to clean out the oil out of here. Look, it's only going to get dirty again, I know. There you go. But make sure we've got. Oh, we need to top up the oil in the carriage here too. Help things move along. I wonder if my wife's visitor is still here. Yep, still here having a chat. Nothing wrong with that. It's good to have a chat. It has finally stopped raining. It is a little bit very much overcast up here at the moment. Right, clean up these ways here. Put the new oil back in, on. This particular lathe has a piece where I can remove, they call it a gap bed lathe, so I can get an extra, in theory, this is a 6-inch chuck, or 150 millimetres. I've had a fairly big workpiece in here many, many years ago. So essentially I can get 300 millimetre swing over here, maybe 320 at the most. And if I take this piece out, I could probably get up to 400. But you're limited by how much you stick out, like sort of 50 mil from the edge of the chuck. So like I said, this lathe really has been good. And for what I do with it, it's basically a hobby lathe. So I only use it every so often. I'm not using it on a daily basis or anything like that. It really does do great work. Now, yeah, so the actual bed of the lathe is quite dirty, and that's something I'm probably not going to clean up today. It needs a really good wash down and clean out. The other thing is I can turn on the coolant here, and this is the coolant coming out of it, and I could use the coolant to help clean the lathe down. A bit like a bit of a washing machine, gurney gun. And it's run out. You can probably hear that. I'll turn that off. So what happens, it goes into the tray and then it returns back into the pump down below here. And it's probably just a bit low on water. Now I've got plenty of water outside. I could go and grab some and pour it in. Every so often you should really replace the coolant, because this stuff does go off. There is other coolants out there that are not they are still water-based, but they're not a soluble oil. They're completely different setup. And one of the channels I watch on YouTube, they use it on their machines. Now they're we're getting running out of oil here. They're a professional setup, professional machine shop, or a full-time machine shop, and they put a video up once a week. They're in the mining industry, and they do some interesting content, and they use a different type of coolant, and it still does the same job, and it doesn't go off like say this stuff does. It's just, yeah, so maybe it's about time I make a switch, but I think I'm almost out of this soluble oil, and the old oil can here has seen better days. One of those things on a rainy day like this, I should clean that up, give it a sandblast or wipe down and give it a repaint, and make it look a bit prettier than what it is, but it does the job. So I'm going to go see if I've got some soluble oil. The soluble oil I use, it comes in a 5 litre container, and that's more than enough for me. It lasts a really long time. Okay. Right, over to the cupboard I go. And let's see what I can find down here in the bowels of the cupboard. You'd be surprised what I've got sitting in this cupboard. Probably stuff I've brought and never used. And if any of you on Emma's Discord, that's I think she has tools I brought and never going to use again. Bright idea at the time. Hopefully you guys haven't fallen asleep. Maybe I might do a sleep stream one night. There you go, there's the oil can. I've only got a little bit of this left, another litre or so. At the time it was like $50. That's lasted me a long time. Don't go through it, as I mentioned. But that goes back in the cupboard. The oil can's filled up. And we're good to go again. Once we put the lid back on. Oh, there's a lathe tool down there. There you go, the things you find. Here's that lathe tool I was talking about. Don't know how that got down there, but anyway. Here we go, lathe tool. Went walkies. I've got a couple up here. I thought I put them all away. Maybe I was using it for something and forgotten about it. Right, so I've oiled the tailstock. I'm going to put my glasses on and oil these slides here. And we put some, there's a screw in there. There's a lubricator here. Oil hole, I should say. Give that a wipe up. And that's back on the screw again. There's another 3 holes here. I'll bring that right back here so that the oil holes are over. Give that a clean up. Like so. I'll give me a little brush. Now, it's getting close to feeding the dogs time. I know it's like 6 o'clock for you guys down there, down south. It's fine, it's getting close to 5 o'clock for us here. We like to feed our dogs roughly the same time. It doesn't always... there we go. Right, so... right here, actually, let's wind it forward. So like I said, there's 3 little oil holes here, which I'll put the oil can into, and it pumps oil into the slideways on the cross slide here. Now it's called the cross slide because it goes across. It's to There's a fair bit of oil going in there. There is a lot of oil going on top too, but that's going in. And there's one right here on the screw. And that's made it nice and easy to turn. And we won't wipe that oil up. We're just going to spread that around so we've got a coating of oil. And we'll go here as well. This tool post can turn on an angle, so you can do various tapers and things. Some people take these off and replace them with a solid tool post, make these more rigid, because it's a bit of a downside. These tool posts, they can have a lot of flexibility in them, which can cause a problem. So I'm going to set up the intermission, and I'm going to go upstairs and grab some water and feed the dogs. So I've got to wipe my hands. So the intermission will be one of the previous videos from the live streams, or right. Well, that's good, Emma. I'm glad the sun's coming through. Oh no! Why did you retract your message there, Stylesy? Let's go over to intermission here. We're going to take Emma's. Let's delete that. It's in time, and in fact, let's unlock that. It's going to be a bit smaller than what it needs to be. But I should play around with that and let's put a media source in here. Hopefully the media source I put in is going to work fine. Something long. Yeah, we might go this one. 2.5 minutes. That should do me. Let's try and fit that in that box. Move that up. That's the train at Kingsthorpe. So I'll restart that again. I'm going to put myself on mute and I'll come back. I shall return. Righto, I'm back. Cheers. Oh, yeah. There we go. Nice bit of cold water. Well, I do appreciate everyone tuning in this afternoon, my time, and having a bit of a chat and watching me live here, do my thing and make mistakes and all that sort of stuff. Let's sit up like that. It's getting close. It's 5 o'clock here, like I said, or just after 5, so it's getting close to dinner time. Having leftovers tonight, curried sausages and rice, so that'll be nice. Probably should go and start warming that up, all that sort of thing. So I think I'll wrap it up here, guys. Very much appreciate you tuning in and taking your time out to watch me, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Whistle.